Next up in the workroom,
More than meets the eye. Hey guys, welcome back to the next installment of Paint Slinger. Welcome back to the studio, and I hope everybody is continuing to stay safe and continuing all of those social distancing and staying at home if you don't have to go out, all that good stuff. So what we're going to do today is we are going to continue painting our awesome Starscream feller right here. Bam! There he is. He's looking pretty badass, I think. It's getting there anyway. I'll move some of the other stuff that I'm doing. Okay. So, for the most part, I mean, he's just a light gray, some blue, some red, some white. And we're just going to continue on doing what we're doing. Like I said, I'm kind of thinking about just using the primer that was set out by WizKids, because these are from WizKids. They are pre-primed with Vallejo primer. We did the Optimus Prime in the last video, and I still have his card, so you can kind of see WizKids right there. There's the Prime that I did. Prime. So, moving on. We are now on Starscream. So Starscream, we're going to fix up a little bit. Some of the red is rubbed off, and that's okay. We're just going to fix that up a little bit. There it is. We're going to get it mostly, if not all, taken care of. Right. Toot sweet here. Now this one here, unlike the cartoons and stuff like that, where it's pretty much just straight, blocks of color. These ones here have panel lines in them. I haven't decided exactly what we're going to do about the panel lines yet. You know. Don't know if I'm going to just leave them, or if we're going to ink them in, or what we're going to do yet. But at this point in the game, it doesn't really matter. But what we are going to do, we are going to do some of these. We are going to do the red lines that are on, on his wing. We might want to make sure that we keep our paints thin so that it will flow nicely off the brush. And then of course we're going to take our time because, you know, lines. I hope everybody's doing okay out there. I hope it's not too terribly bad being cooped up or running out for the barest of essentials. You know, all of my favorite geekery places are closed up to the public, so you can't just, you know, go in and browse. I mean, you can look through their websites and hopefully you'll see what you want. Maybe they do curbside pickup for you or whatever, and they, you know, you can have it go to the shop and pick it up that way. It's definitely a very weird time that we are in right now. But that's okay. We'll get through it. We'll come out the other side stronger and better community, I hope. There we go. So the first red line on the outside of the wing is done. Now we're going to do the other side. Again, you want to take your time, be nice and slow. Make sure that you're getting the paint where you want it to go and not where, you know, it might want to go. Because sometimes where you want it to go and where it wants to go are not even remotely the same place. So yeah, take it nice and slow, nice and easy. I mean, unless you're in a speed painting competition, then maybe not so slow. But that's okay. Right now, I'm not. And I want to try and make my Starscream look as good as I can. Here we are. Lines on the back of the wing are done. And thank you very much, camera, for snapping into focus on Starscream. That was rather nice of you. Now, in the last video, I did the cover or the cowl to his head in an off black, or it was called a Corvus black, and I didn't like it very much, so I stopped it. What I am gonna use is a true black, or excuse me, Abaddon black, as it's called. And we are going to repaint the head, because it'll actually look better with the black. Than the off black. The off black would be actually quite nice as a highlight for him. So I might keep that in mind. Be very careful when we're working in around some of the other colors we've already put down. But I mean, if worst comes to worst, we just go back over it with the colors we were using before. You know, I didn't have that much of an issue with Prime getting into some of the small and crafty areas that I think a bit of a time. Getting into the Starscream. But I'm going to make it work. I'm going to get it all sorted out. There we go. So I probably had them up here and you couldn't really see a whole lot, and if I did, I very much apologize. I'm not necessarily all that good at it. Of course, in cartoons and stuff like that, their faces are more of a light gray and not maybe an actual silver, whereas, you know, because I can get away with that, we are going to do so. Really? Well, alright then. So what we're going to do, we're actually going to take the silver very gingerly paint his neck and his face silver. And again, if we get silver on parts we're not supposed to, we'll just paint back over them. Well, cool. There we go. We do have to fix up a little bit of the black, but just a tiny bit of the black. Nothing that we have to worry about right now. But except for the eyes, which are red, because he's evil. Apparently, red equals evil. Unless you're Battlestar Galactica, and then red is the good guys. Check it out. Put the little guy away for now. And there we go. There's his silver face. Okay. Now there are a few touch-up spots that I have to do, and that's all right. I mean, there's a few touch-up spots that I have to do with the white. Kind of hoping that this is almost a perfect match. And it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's an almost perfect match. So what I'm using is a color called Corax White. So it's white, but not really white. It's allowing me to touch up some of the places where I've gone over with not the right color. And you can't even tell. So, awesome sauce. Because now I have a fix. really happy about having the fix. Because again, it allows me to clean things up. Fix up splooches that I may have made. Because hey, I sling paint. Sometimes the paint gets a little wild and gets a little out of hand, and I don't know where it goes. I'm actually really happy right now. Because I can fix bleeds. And if we decide that we're going to color in the panel lines, we're going to do a pin wash, and it will allow me to actually clean up around where it was. Of course, now the more I go over Starscream, the more and more little mistakes I notice here and there, and I'm compelled to fix them. Fix them I shall. Because he'll look that much better. He'll look that much tighter. Just overall crisper and cleaner. Okay, so yeah, I'm really happy with the fact that the Corax white is the same color as the the main body. So yay. But we're moving on to something entirely different. We're going to do the white stripe that is on Starscream's wings. And for this, we're using a color called Ceramite White. Basically what you do is you paint whatever it is that you're going to paint white with Corax white, and then you go in and you actually highlight with a white that actually stands out. So you can still have that gray from the rest of the body, But you can actually do the white as a white. And in this case, because Starscream's got a white line on the inner parts of his wings, we need the white to be able to stand out. And it'll probably take you a couple of coats to achieve the opacity, the opacity of the white that you're going to want for the stripe. And that's just fine. Just build it up nice and slow, nice and smooth, as best as you can. Again, using the lines that are already inscribed into the wing as your guidelines. And you'll get there. Nice. It's very tight, it's nice, it's clean, it's sharp. Or at least I like to think so. You guys might have a different opinion, and everybody's entitled to their opinion. However, it's my paint job, so I'm right. No, I'm kidding. It doesn't matter. But you can see how the white is showing up over top of that gray, really, really nicely. So there's 4 more of those white stripes to do, or 3 more of those stripes to do. There's 4 in total, and we've done 1. And I said, work it up slow. Don't worry about rushing. You're not in a competition to try and be the first one done. If that was the case, I would have probably had him done, probably the same amount of time, because he's Starscream, gosh darn it, and I really like him. It's a nice little figure. I haven't found a good base for him yet, so we're probably not going to have a chance to base him at all. But that's okay. We'll revisit Starscream and maybe get a really nice scenic base for him to put him on, kind of like we did with Prime, instead of just using the flat black disc. Although, could be worse. Could be worse. Anyway, again, like I said at the top of the show, at the opening of the show, I want everybody to stay safe. Stay at home if you can manage it. If you have to go out, please observe the social distancing rule of 2 meters, or for those of us south of the border, that's about 6 feet, give or take. So until next time, we will see you in the studio, and paint safe, everyone.